All right, boys, this is the end. This is the end. The season is complete. All the games have been played. We have winners. We have champions. That's all we got for 21-22. How you guys feeling okay?
Yeah.
We back, baby. Yeah. I'm feeling good finally.
This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea. And down below that is Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. What's up, boys? How are we doing? Did you guys have a good week?
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right? Okay.
Yeah, settling into my Champions League, waiting for the draw. You know.
Well, now that you know you won't draw Zlatan. You can't see Zlatan in the group stages. You're probably feeling pretty good.
It's not technically possible. No.
Yeah, he doesn't have a knee. Well,
Not-
actually, he played the last 6
he
months
is
without a
Zlatan.
knee. So
He is all time.
I'm not
Just
ruling it out.
He gonna recover in a month and be like, I'm ready to play.
Yeah, I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah, Brad, your club wasn't dissolved today.
I had
It's happy
quite
news.
a week.
It's
Happy news. Happy news. I can buy merch again. We can buy players again. We can even sign our players to contracts again.
It's a revelation to actually not to be able to operate. It's crazy.
Imagine doing that for like 3 months, 4 months.
You can fly in a plane again, which is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we don't have to kick you off the podcast because your club was dissolved. So I guess you can stick around next season, and we'll see where you we'll reassess you at the end of next season, right, Sean?
Yeah, they might get dissolved again. Who knows?
Yeah. So we'll have to reassess Brad at the end of next season, but I guess he's invited back for next year. But with that being said, first we want to give a huge thank you to anyone who has taken 2 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour to listen to any bit of this podcast over this season. This is kind of a passion project of ours. We don't get anything out of this yet. If you want to sponsor us, info.redcardradio@gmail.com. But we don't get anything out of this. So it's just something we do purely out of joy, and we really appreciate and are super thankful and grateful for anyone who has taken 2 minutes, 5 minutes to watch an episode, leave us a comment, hit us up on Twitter, anything like that. Share it with a friend, tell somebody about it. It means the world to us, and so we're just really thankful that you guys have been doing that for us. And we're going to keep going. We keep going for next year as well. And hopefully we'll continue to improve this, make it better, get better content for you, at all that time. But, if this is the first time you're listening, we really appreciate you too. Thank you for clicking on this link. Thank you for letting us talk to you for at least the last 3 minutes. And we hope that you stick around. We would really, really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button wherever you're listening. Ring the sub notification bell if you're on YouTube. Leave us a comment. Rate us 5 stars if you're on Apple Podcast. Even if you don't think we're 5 stars, it really just helps, discoverability and help us move up the charts on Apple iTunes. That just helps us. It's the normal internet spiel that you get from anyone who you listen to on the internet. But we would really appreciate that because, you don't want anything to happen in your life that would be, somewhat inconvenient. Right, Sean?
No, what you definitely don't want anything mildly inconvenient to befall of you, because what could happen if you don't subscribe, rate, review 5-star is you could spawn into being a fan of the Bolton Wanderers, who are one of the only traditionally ginormous clubs not currently in the Premier League with the promotion of Nottingham Forest.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah. So they're down. They're in League One. I'm trying to find them right now.
That's the 3rd division of English football for those.
Third division. Yeah. There they are. Oh shit! I just lost.
Joel's second favorite club. You guys be a fan of Joel's second favorite club that just got promoted to the championship. to replace Nottingham Forest. That would be Sunderland AFC.
Yeah, Joel's a big Sunderland fan.
Huge.
Huge.
And maybe he can help us out with this because, like, I don't think I'm leaving anybody out, right? Like the Big Six plus Leeds plus Nottingham, and then Bolton are and along with Villa
You might be
or
able to
like
make. I think you
Middlesbrough, maybe
might be able to make a shout for like Portsmouth or
Portsmouth, yeah.
something like that. Maybe a Middlesbrough you could make a shout for. They I remember when I started watching Portsmouth were in the league for a while. But I guess if you're going back to 1992, I can't really speak to that per se because I started watching football in 2006.
Blackburn.
Rovers. That's another club that used to be up there. But yeah, with Nottingham Forest, they're a big club. We'll talk about them here in a little bit, as they did win promotion in the league championship, the football league championship playoff against Huddersfield Town. Bit of controversy there, but we'll get to that here in just a minute. But what we're going to be doing for you tonight, hit those comments from last week, of course, as always, and then we're going to talk about the Champions League final. We'll talk about the football league championship playoff final, and then what we're going to do. We're kind of we kind of focus on our own clubs a little bit. That's predominantly what we talk about. So we're going to kind of wrap up. We're going to put a bow on our seasons. So Brad's going to talk about Chelsea. I'm going to talk about Arsenal. Sean's going to talk about Spurs. We're just kind of rated out of 10, disappointments, highlights, things like that. Just kind of wrap it up. And that's what we got for you tonight. We'll give a little bit of shout out about the transfer window, which is coming, but we're not going to spend too much time about transfers. And we will. So we're gonna kick it off with the comments first. So start with Jimmy. Jimmy wants to give a big shout out to Joel. Good to see you on the pod again, buddy. 100% agree. Official
Always
Red
good.
Card Radio
Always
endorsement of thank you, Joel, for coming last week. We really appreciate it. What were you saying, Sean?
Yeah, no, it's always fun to have the guests on. It's always super fun. It always kind of mixes it up, and we love having Joel. He has clearly a very unique perspective on the things we talk about every week, so it's always good.
Maybe I just thought about this, Sean. But maybe what we could do one week is we could yeet Brad. Just get rid of Brad.
What?
And we could have Joel and Jimmy on the podcast.
Yeah.
Wow. How did I get the boot?
Well,
this was my idea. I can't get the boot.
Yeah,
we're still working on it. I'm still not convinced your team's not getting dissolved. So I just need a little bit more proof.
Hold on. Can we talk about how Jimmy gave me a heart attack in the Discord today? Yes. I don't know if he should be invited on here.
Give us a little more
join
context.
the Discord. Yeah. So in the Discord, Jimmy had a typo and it said, so it looks like Chelsea is not being bought. And I was like, what? I kind of had a freak out because I was driving at this time, and I definitely was like, I'm so confused. I can buy jerseys now. What?
He whipped out his phone, didn't care about driving, was just Googling furiously.
Yup. And then he's oh sorry, it was a typo.
I meant to say that I got it pulled up. Looks like Chelsea sell is not official. The typo was now official.
Yes.
Autocorrect.
Sarah was like, Dad, why are you swerving in the car?
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. Shout out to Sarah, executive producer, chief technical officer for Red Card Radio.
IT director.
IT director. That's her title. Forgot about it. Shout out to Sarah.
Especially out of the Charlotte branch.
Yep. Jimmy had another comment. It was about pitch invasion. So again, we've been talking about pitch invasions. This is his theory on how to fix it. He says pitch invasions. I think the penalty should be very harsh, like 10 games behind closed doors. But I also think there should be a point penalty. Think about how bad the consequences would have been if both Everton and City had to forfeit the points they earned from the game that resulted in the pitch invasion. Granted, that might be harsh if the invasion was respectful of the other team, but again, I'm completely against it, so I would like to hit the clubs hard if their fans do it. A lot of times all it takes is for one club to be punished very badly to fix the problem. If anything, you can also look at if You can look at how American sports handled some PED violations. First offense is harsh, but second offense could end your career or program in this case. Second offense could be a reduction of season ticket sales as well, maybe 50% capacity for the year, and a 3-year transfer ban. That's like you're dropping some nuclear bombs on people there if you do that.
Jimmy's trying to kill the EPL one invasion at a time.
I wonder. Now here's a theory. He specifically called out Everton and City. Jimmy, you're a Liverpool supporter. Are you trying to nuke Goodison Park, and you mad that you lost the league to City? I'm just wondering here, man. Just wondering.
That's some allegations there, James.
We'll have to have a Red Card Radio investigative report. Figure out what Jimmy's motives are.
For our European fans, what he's mainly chiefly referring to is in Major League Baseball, American baseball. If you get caught using PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, one time, you get a 50-game suspension or 80-game suspension. If you get caught a second time, you are banned for an entire 162-game season. If you get caught a third time, you are now banned from the sport. So it's escalating to a point of ruining your career in some cases.
So I think that I'd be okay with a stadium ban, having to play a game behind closed doors. I think if you lost fans for one singular game, the clubs would kill it instantly. There would be no chance of another pitch invasion at the Etihad. That Manchester City would have extra guards, extra security. They would have cameras trained on the fans, and the fans would know it. And they'd say, the moment you walk onto the pitch, you have an indefinite lifetime ban. You're never welcome back at the City ground. Things like that. So I think 10 games is excessive. Point deduction is a nuclear bomb, and you would have people suing over it. There's no way that the clubs would agree to a point deduction.
And
especially
in a transfer ban.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, like play that out. You're right on the suing, because imagine if City had to forfeit that 3 points that they won because of the pitch invasion, which would make them lose the title. And we just pulled it up a couple weeks ago. That's about, what was it, about 5 to 7 million difference in between finishing first and finishing second.
But not even just that. Let's talk about
Everton. We haven't even talked about the trophy.
Everton would be a 200 million pound loss.
Everton's in the hundreds of $1 million loss.
Yes.
You bet your ass the Everton owners would sue those fans. As many as they could round up. Like, they're definitely suing them.
They'd be suing the Prem.
They'd be suing anybody
to get out of it. Yeah, they'd be suing everybody.
They'd be suing everybody. Actually, they'd be suing everybody. Just whoever they can sue. We're out $100 million because your ass couldn't stay in the stands.
I got to sue Paul Tierney for being a shit ref.
They might as well throw that. They might as well throw that in there too.
Don't worry, I brought Paul Tierney up because even though I'm still mad at him, he does make an appearance in this week's episode of Red Card Radio for an entirely unrelated thing to Arsenal.
I was gonna say, did Arsenal play this week?
Stay tuned.
I don't think either of our teams played this week.
Yeah. So I would be okay with
what did Kieran's dad do?
Ridiculous. I'd be okay with like progressively more harsh punishments for like each successive pitch invasion. I think you start at like one game of reduced capacity, or one game of no fans, or something like that, or maybe only traveling supporters. How crazy would that be? Like Manchester United get a stadium ban, and you're only allowed to have
the visiting team,
visiting fans in Old Trafford.
Yes,
they didn't pitch invade. They should be punished.
I'm picking a random team because Old Trafford is a historic. Well, if you want to talk about pitch invasions, there was a pretty serious pitch invasion at Old Trafford last year. If you don't recall, called off an entire game. And Manchester United, we're not punished for that. But yeah.
No, I think we're on to something here. You do the first offense, you get like maybe like you said, let's do a
single game,
only traveling supporters.
Yeah,
one game. Your second offense, and this has to be like, let's put a rolling 5 years on it. Like people can't be getting punished for something that happened in the 80s. You know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Correct.
And even moving into the future, like a rolling 10 years.
Wait, you guys
You
had
get-
clubs in the 80s?
Yeah, so did Nottingham Forest. They were winning trophies back then. Brad, what were you doing?
I think we actually won a trophy in the 80s.
Roman Abramovich was still a young man. He hadn't formed Chelsea Football Club yet, so.
I was almost said something I was going to regret.
He was starting his friendships up. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, well, he was starting to get his wealth.
Oh, please don't sue us, Roman. Please don't sue us.
Yeah. I just said he was starting to get his wealth. That was it. That's all I said.
But yeah, I think a rolling 5 years is good. And then what? 1, 3, 10.
Yeah, no, I was thinking
you're
just
hitting the field 3 times in 5 years, then yeah.
I think a rolling 10 is probably perfect.
Well, no, it wouldn't be the third pitch invasion gets you. It would be the first pitch invasion gets you a ban. The second pitch invasion gets you, then 3 games, then 5. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So 1, 3, 10.
Yeah, have Premier League, EPL. You need to invite Red Card Radio. We will come set up your rule. Come invite us to the next rules meeting, and we'll pitch this. We'll pitch this for you. You can even fly us all out of Charlotte. We'll make it easy for you. We'll all meet in Charlotte. Cheaper airlines. Hit us up. info.redcardradio@gmail.com. We're gonna move on to Will's comments. Will, did you guys read his comment? It says James's logic is ironclad regarding the player of the year / young player of the year. Ironclad.
All right, so on this comment, it's because
not.
he's your brother. That's the only reason. He's arguing for his brother. That's it.
No.
Because riddle me how Heung-min Son wasn't the best 6 players. Was it in the best 6 players in the Premier League?
That is not part of my question.
No, it's not. But Saka shouldn't be in there, is my point.
I think he should.
Brad, is Saka one of the 6 best players in the Premier League?
No.
Brad, in the top 6 Premier League, in the top 6 of the Premier League, how many of them are Chelsea players in your top 6?
6.
Yeah, exactly.
My God. This fucking guy.
Mason Mount, Hakim Ziyech, Rudiger, Mendy.
Christensen.
This begs the point here. Like, realistically, Brad, like, let's you and I pick the top
James.
6. Yeah, because we're coming to you last. I'll go first. So we've got Salah.
Of course.
We can't leave him off. Can't leave off KDB.
I agree. He's in mine.
Agreed.
You can't. But mine's tough because you can't leave off Son. But I feel like Kane's probably borderline. So I'm probably just gonna go Son for now until I fill out the rest of the 6.
Are we talking about just the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the season. It's player of the season.
I agree, Son for the season.
And probably Kane. Yeah, Kane's in there. He finished with 19 goals.
Okay.
So that's 4.
Virgil.
Yeah, now it gets tough. Yeah, Van Dijk is up there.
But Allison, you could put Rudiger, you could put Mount.
Anybody else on the Chelsea team, it'd be Thiago. Of how important he was, or Conte. Conte.
Conte played 40% of our games. Conte can't be in this year. I think Rudiger was our most important player. And Mount had double-digit goals and assists this year, so like he definitely gets a shout in there.
Yeah, I'm probably going Van Dijk. Van Dijk, Allison is probably what I'm going to round up my 6. So we've got Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Son, Kane, Van Dijk, Allison. That's my 6.
It's funny that Sean had this outrage over it about Son not being included, because I needed to find out who was included in the shortlist.
He is, isn't he?
So yes, the nominees for player of the season this year were Trent Alexander-Arnold, who you all left out.
Of course I did.
Jared Bowen.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Joao
I like
Cancelo.
Bowen.
Joao Cancelo.
I like Cancelo. Okay.
Saka. Mohamed
No.
Salah.
Yeah.
Son. And James Ward-Prowse. Those were all. That was the short list.
Son wasn't in the 6.
Okay, I'm on the Premier League website. He says Kevin.
Then what did I see?
Stop. Kevin De Bruyne beat out other nominees in the award, the 7 other nominees in the award. The 7 names I just read you.
Ward-Prowse is an interesting one.
Then I saw something inaccurate because I only saw six names, and Son was not among them.
Well,
I do remember Bowen.
I'm just reading you.
All right. Well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Son's one of the best 6 in the. It's not Saka.
He certainly was in. He's certainly in the top 6 for this past season. I agree with that.
No, he's not. What's his goal? What's his goal?
No,
I'm
no.
talking Son.
Sean,
I'm talking
I'm
Saka.
agreeing with you about Son. That he's. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on Son. That he's in the top 6 or 7 in the league this last year. Yeah, I'm
18 goals and assists.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good.
It ain't Son.
Okay, how many? What was Son's goal in this? It's like around 30, because he had 20 goals.
Yeah,
22
close to 30. Yeah, let me pull it. It was exactly 30. He has 23 and 7.
I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty happy with 21-year-old Saka. Sky's the limit.
So, by the way, Son has not had less than. Let me make sure I'm adding these up right. Has not had less than 20. By the way, so this is a top 6 player in the league because I gotta plant my flag in this now since I made a big deal out of it. 18, pretty good season. He says. Where's the camera? Pretty good season. 18 goals and assists put together. This is what he says. Son has not had less than 20 goals and assists put together since his initial season, in which he only played 28 games, in which he had 4 goals and 1 assist. Every other season, that was 15-16. So that's 2016 to current, has never had a season in the Premier League that he had less than 20 on the goals and assists.
Why are you coming at me for being happy that Saka had a good season?
It's not a good season. It's a poo-poo season.
We know Chelsea was left out of all of the awards because Mason Mount's 21 goals and assists, I think, puts him over Saka this year.
Okay, we also need to get away
stats.
from
Bringing the stats here.
We need to get away from the idea that these are the only defining characteristics of a player is their
No.
goals and assists in a season.
Correct, because Rudiger should be in there too. You're correct.
Yeah.
No, I'm finding some way to be right. No, Saka had a great season, and he makes an impact off the ball too. So it's just creating, it's cutting behind players. It's everything. So I'm well aware that opening space doesn't show up on a stat line.
Hey, but before you read off this next comment from Will, Joel, I need you to listen very, very closely to what Will said here. Go ahead, James.
You ready? Okay. So, LMAO, laughing my ass off. In hindsight, at the TAA best right back in the world comment, caught standing like an idiot for the lone goal in the final. I can't remember which game it was. He was caught out twice similarly a couple weeks ago also. Having said that, Liverpool were much better throughout the game, but this was just Madrid's year.
You can't remember because it happened so much this year. Almost, I think every single one of their losses was Trent's fault for doing the same thing, standing there ball watching or getting beat.
Yeah, I mean, he was 100% at fault for that goal. And the problem is you can see in the highlight as he's running down the field, he looks over his shoulder, he sees where Vinicius is, and just doesn't even try and mark him. He just gives up. Just stop.
Yeah,
it was exceptionally bad defending.
He also, 3-4 weeks ago, he had his hands full with Son.
Yeah, I mean,
Son ate him alive.
You don't.
He had his hands full. I mean, I won't say ate alive, but he had his hands full.
I mean, the reason why Klopp loves Trent so much is not for his defensive capabilities, because he's clearly a liability in defense. It's for what he offers on offense. He's not bad at defending. I guess this is my point. He's not a bad defender. Like, he's not a garbage tier defender, but he's just an elite offensive right back. And so I think you pair the elite offensive capabilities with the average defensive capability, and you take that is what Liverpool's thinking. But I know for a fact he was caught out against City ball watching, and so if they beat City. And so if he's not caught ball watching against City, he's not caught ball watching against Madrid, we could be having an incredibly different conversation this week. We could be talking about, is Liverpool one of the greatest club? Like, is this one of the greatest club seasons of all time? This, that, and the other. Like, but and we can't reduce a single game to one moment. Like, you can't reduce the Champions League final to one moment of Trent getting caught out. Like, that's unfair. And you certainly can't reduce an entire league season of 38 matches to one moment of a person getting caught ball watching. Like, you can't do that for a multitude of reasons. But
I can break it down to one player, which we'll do in a moment. I've got breaking analysis when we get to the next point.
Okay. So but you can say that, like, that is a huge deficiency in his game. Trent is still young. So if he improves his defending and focuses more on defending while still maintaining his same ability to attack. And I think the issue is, like, if Trent is up the field and the team scores against Liverpool on the break from the right side, I don't think you're mad at Trent. What you're mad about is when he's tracking back and he just loses defenders and he's in a position where he should be able to make a play and he just doesn't. That's the concern.
Or gets beat. Yeah, it's when he gets beat. It's not when he's up forward, because let's be real. He's really a right mid. He's not a right back. You want to say he's the best right mid in the world? Sure. But he isn't. His defensive abilities, he should not be playing right back.
I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily, I'm not going to be super mad at the defender if he gets beat. Like, if you get beat as a defender, it happens. Like, even the best defender in the world gets beat on occasion. But it's more egregious to me to be caught ball watching and just because you're just staring at the ball and not knowing what's around you, you let a goal in. That is a more egregious error than being beat on the ball by someone else.
I mean, to James's point, Jerome Boateng was a phenomenal center back for 10 to 15 years. Messi put him in a body bag in a Champions League final. And, like, of course, everyone just remembers that. They don't remember the other 9 seasons he was perfectly great at center back. Yep. They just remember him falling over, getting crossed up by Messi. However, to both of your points, in a back 4, I would rather have Reece. In a back 3, which we currently have, I would rather have Trent as my right wing back. Because of what we're trying to do. In a back 4, I'd rather have Reece. I would, because you're trying to have a defensive back 4, not an also right midfielder.
Hey,
yeah, go for it, bro.
I mean, I hear you. I disagree with you, but I hear you, and that's a reasonable argument. But who had more goals this season and less games because of injury?
I assume it's Reece.
Yes, it is. So,
well, Trent doesn't.
We'll let Joel come on here and have his argument that he thinks Trent's better.
Yeah, who has more assists, Brad?
Trent did, but I think their GA was pretty close. Let me double check. I'm going to check. Let me get my stats.
I don't think the GA is as close as you think it is, because I think Trent had a metric boatload.
But he also missed.
I think he was second in the league.
6 to 8 weeks.
I think so. Okay, I mean, you can.
So now you're bringing the injuries back in it to help yourself out, even though you're just using.
He still scored more goals than him. That's a good
you were
thing.
just using it.
Games.
I'll tell you, James. How are you feeling if Ben White has the second most assists on your team?
Hold on.
How are you feeling if Ben White has the second or third most goals on your team?
Terrible.
Probably not great. That means the offense isn't very good.
Yeah, if he's
Martinelli's not good, Saka's not good.
Just a second. I need math, Sean. I need your Sean math. Hold on.
Yeah, what do you got?
Hold on. Let's do this. All right. I'm going live.
No, we're not pulling. No, we're not.
Put that away.
Mid-pod. Okay.
Put that away.
5 and 9.
Brad, put that away. Thank you.
Why is there
5 and 9. on
Why is there
22
banana
games.
boat shirts on here? I don't
know.
understand what's going
I don't
on.
know. Banana boats being advertised. I don't know. We'll get money. Reece James on 22 games, 26 games, 4 subs, 5 goals, 9 assists.
That's 14.
So what's 5? Okay. On 32 games, 2 goals, 12 assists.
That's 14 as well.
Oh. But even if we're counting the subs,
Which you do.
Which you do.
that's 6 games less for the same production.
Okay. That's an interesting statistic.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. All right.
I just want to make sure Joel listened to all of this discussion here. That everybody on this pod just said, oh, wow, that's a great statistic, Brad. But your argument for Reece is much better now. We can move on, though.
You're getting real fiery about this. All I'm saying is that Trent has a deficiency, a sole deficiency, and that's losing people.
James, you want me to crush him?
Yeah. Oh, please. I would love you to crush him.
How many games was that, Brad, for Reece? Would you say 28?
22. No, 20. What? Yeah, 28. 20 plus 6, 28. Yeah.
28?
Yeah.
Dejan Kulusevski.
18. Oh, a winger?
18 games, 5 goals, 8 assists. That would be 13, my boy.
As a winger?
In 10 less games.
As a winger?
All right, I am moving this conversation on. We are talking about the Champions League final next. So, the Champions
League final, analysis.
The much delayed Champions League final against Liverpool and Madrid at the Stade de France in Paris. Game ends 1-0 to Madrid. Madrid win their 14th Champions League title, far and above anyone who's close to them.
Next closest is Liverpool, right?
I don't believe so.
Or is it Bayern? Barca?
AC Milan, maybe.
I think all the clubs.
There's a bunch that are like that are right
4,
in
5,
there together.
6.
Yeah, like 6, 7, something like that. But yeah, it just, that is Madrid's competition. Well, I don't know why they want to break away from it, because they just own that competition. It should be called the UEFA Real Madrid Champions League, because that is their competition. They were shit all season in the Champions League, and somehow who did they lose to in the group stage? It was some laughable team. Like, it was
the Sheriffs.
The Sheriff.
Yeah.
Sheriff.
That's right. They lost to Sheriff.
And they lost to every single team until they played Liverpool.
Yeah. It's just insane season for Madrid. But it's a cup final. So if we do need to go over, we made some predictions last week. We put pen to paper. And so the predictions that we had, Joel, he was with us last week. He predicted a 2-1 Liverpool victory. Sean predicted a 4-3 Liverpool victory. James predicted also a 2-1 Liverpool victory. Brad,
it's written in the stars.
Brad selected the correct winner. Brad selected Madrid to win, but his score was incorrect. Brad thought it was going to be a 2-1 Madrid victory. So clearly he was closer than any of us, but all of this...
Yeah, we'll give it to him. He was the only one that picked Madrid.
Yeah, but this gesticulating that he is doing over there, over his like written in the stars, puffing his chest out, he didn't get the score right, so you're like 50% there, bro. Calm down.
50% is a lot better than 0.
True, you ain't wrong.
I would like to contest that this final doesn't come down to one person.
Okay. So
this is my analysis.
And that
it did come down to one person.
Who?
Casemiro.
Okay.
Casemiro was everywhere. Like, that guy was all over everything. It was Leicester Conte. It was Conte in his first season with Chelsea. Like, he was just sweeping everything. Backline staying clean. Good outlet passes. It was breaking open the offense for Madrid and keeping the defense and the back four clean. It was incredible watching him.
Also, huge shout out to Courtois. He had a phenomenal.
Yeah. No, if you're going to say it's one person, it's Courtois.
Well, then I had Courtois making diving save after diving save. He's blocking everything with the quickest cat-like reflexes possible. There was probably like 3 or 4 goals that should have went in, and Courtois was able to get to it. And James is over here telling me, no, it's just good positioning, not good goalkeeper play.
Okay, we had this conversation midway through the second half, and
we're texting in the group chat.
Yeah, I
admit, like that.
No, okay.
Mediocre keeper play. He's just good position.
Hold on, time out. So the specific play I was talking about, you said it a couple minutes after he saved the Salah curling left foot shot, right?
Yeah,
and
that's an incredible save.
I think it's an average save for him. I think it's a save he is expected to make. I think it looks cool because it's acrobatic, but he gets his entire both hands to it. He's able to deflect it exactly where he wants to. Salah didn't really test him that hard with that. Now, like 5 minutes later, the ball over the top to Salah, where he was a magnificent first touch. Salah takes it, just plucks it right out of the air and places it right in front of himself. And then he's one-on-one with Courtois, and Courtois just gets the most reflex bicep save on the ball. Now that was an incredible save. Like, that's why you pay goalkeepers money, because that is one of the best saves I've seen all year.
Yeah, because you compound world-class touch.
Yeah.
World-class pass. Let's take it back a little farther. World-class pass to put it on his foot. World-class touch to bring it down. World-class to get it out from under his feet and put on an accurate kick. You combine all three of those into world-class save.
Yeah.
That's what you pay a goalkeeper for.
Like, I was generally unimpressed with Salah up until that point. I thought that he had been, I don't want to say meandering, but he had been maybe ineffective. But that touch, that first, so the touch to bring the control of the ball, his first touch to put it past the defender who was marking him, and then his shot was sublime. It was incredible.
Yeah, and that's why I don't remember if it was in our group chat or if it was my buddy Andrew that texted me the meme gif of the guy doing the peace sign and then kind of fading out and disappearing. Okay. And somebody said Salah every big cup game, every big game. And I didn't understand that. I really didn't. He had 2 or 3 really good chances. We just spoke about 2 of them as one of our highlights of the game of legit chances to score that just Courtois just stopped. So we can't just say he wasn't there.
3 finals, 0 goals.
Okay, I wonder though. Okay, that I think is what it is.
We just talked
disingenuous? Because you want to say it's disingenuous, and it's a crazy.
We just talked about 1.5 goals that he just should have had in the most recent game, because I thought he should have scored the curler too. I don't think a lot of keepers are getting to that. Maybe you want to say that's something Courtois should get to. Here, I can hear that argument out.
I'll say it to you like this: I think Ramsdale's saving that.
Yeah, it's on the borderline of I'm questioning if Lloris is getting it.
Oh, I think Lloris is getting that 9 times out of 10.
I think Mendy's getting. I think all of our goals.
Either way, so 1.25. But we just saw he should have scored the second goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other keeper besides Courtois getting lucky, it almost was lucky, but it was reflex. It was reflex. He just reacted. Yeah. You're right. But that scores 9 times out of 10.
Scores 99 times out of 100. I feel like it was an incredible.
So we can't just say he disappears. That's what I'm arguing. You can't say he disappears right after we talked about he should have scored.
That was my point. My point was up until that point, I didn't think that he was having a particularly good game. What I think maybe the problem is that we have built Mo Salah into being the next Leo Messi. At least I have in my mind. I think Mo Salah is the best player in world football right now, or I have made that claim on this podcast throughout this season, where I've said I think Mohamed Salah is the best player in world football. I'm reevaluating that claim, and so I think the problem is that, like, in my mind, I'm comparing him to prime Messi, and that's maybe not fair to Salah.
I think it's very fair. Yes, so we are splitting hairs, and we're at the top, but that's very complimentary of Salah.
Agreed.
That we're comparing him to prime Messi and prime Ronaldo.
And Salah's played himself into that. It's like, I don't think the comparison's not wrong. I think you're more correct than not, but
my point is I don't think that's unfair. I think that's a compliment to Salah.
I guess what I'm saying is that if you look at prime Ronaldo, prime Messi,
they're scoring.
Prime Maradona, prime Pele. Like, these are the single greatest humans to have ever played the sport. Are you willing to say that about Mo Salah as well? I don't know.
No, that's hard to say. That is hard. That's hard to say. But it's a testament to him that we're even having the argument.
Agreed. I think it's a comp.
That's my point.
Mo Salah is a phenomenal footballer. He is exceptional. But he's probably just not reached that level.
I'll put it to you this way.
Okay.
Kane scores that goal.
The problem is Kane scores the goal. He's in that position, but he doesn't control it like Salah.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't
He's
have
got good touch.
He doesn't have the first touch like Salah did. No.
Son scoring that goal.
Okay, get out of here. But it was a good game.
Actually, to be fair, I'm not far off either. I think you're right. I think in those positions that Kane probably scores that 5 out of 10 times.
I would agree.
Son scores it probably 5 or 6 times out of 10. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody on Chelsea that scores it.
Yeah, I don't think in the current Chelsea.
No, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking about 21-22 Chelsea.
Maybe Didier Drogba would.
Yeah, Drogba scoring it, and your boy
King Kai.
Giroud scores that.
Giroud.
I mean,
Hazard.
Absolutely, Giroud scores that because he's always the flair for the dramatic too. Like if he got that, he's closing that.
Giroud is also controlling that out of the air as well. His first touch is impeccable.
And it would
hold on.
And it leaves me pissed off watching the game too.
Sean, hit us with you have a stat about European titles that you wanted to.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, bring that up.
Let me make sure I got. Let me pull it. You got to give me. You got to give me more time than what you just did. So I'm stalling right now to get to it. All right, I'm ready. All right. So if Madrid win the Super Cup, which to those American listeners, Super Cup is the winner of the Champions League in August. Preseason will play the winner of the Europa League.
It's in like November, isn't it?
No, it's in August. But it's at the beginning of the season, though.
It is preseason. I think it's the weekend before the season opens for most countries. And unlike any other preseason game, this is for the marbles. There is a legit trophy, not named the Audi Cup.
Oh, okay.
You know, Audi Cup's right there with the Super Cup, but you know it's a preseason trophy, but it counts.
Okay.
So if Madrid win that, Spain will have won the same amount of European trophies in the 21st century since 2000 as the rest of European countries combined. And I'll run down the list just for everybody keeping score at home. That will be 35 for Spain. And then we will have 13 for England, 6 for Germany, 6 for Italy, 3 for Portugal, 3 for Russia, 2 for Turkey, 1 for Netherlands, 1 for the Ukraine.
I have a quick timeout.
Okay.
So you're saying Real Madrid will have won 34 European titles?
No, Spain will. Okay. Spain will have no.
Got it.
That would be something.
They're close, aren't they?
It would be impossible. It wouldn't be impossible. It would be like damn near.
Because they would have
had to win. They would have had to win either
all but 5. Yeah.
Well, they would have had to win either the Champions League or the Europa League every single year, and on top of that, a Super Cup for half of them.
No. 20 years, they would just have to win the Champions League and the Cup and the Super Cup.
Well, we're 22.
15 years.
What I'm saying is that we're 22 years into 21, depending on who you ask, years into the 21st century is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so almost every year they'd have to win the Champions League and the Super Cup, which is what they've done a lot, which is why they have so many. Plus Barcelona, plus Sevilla and Villarreal, Atletico winning the Europa. Because you've got Sevilla just won the No, they just were in the final. They didn't win it. But Villarreal have won a bunch. Sevilla have won a bunch.
Sevilla have won a bunch. You're thinking Villarreal were just in the final.
Villarreal were just in it, yeah.
Okay, so Villarreal was just in it. Sevilla is who wins a lot. Because they won like something like 4 out of the last 7 or something like that.
Yeah, Unai Emery.
So that's big time. And just taking a look, Jimmy, 5 Champions League from England. That's pretty impressive. It's 2 go to Chelsea, Brad. 2 go to Liverpool, and just one for United over that time. So I'm going to give Jimmy a little shout out there, keeping England afloat. I'm not giving any credit to Chelsea for keeping England afloat, but
Chelsea were really
because they also have two of the Europas too, don't they?
Yeah. We have 4 of those bad boys
In the 2000s.
Yeah,
4 Europas.
No,
That is
Two,
all the
two
Europa.
Europas.
Two
Two
champ-
Europas.
Okay.
Two champs,
Yeah,
two
eight-
Europas.
because
Okay.
Three Europas.
United have a Europa.
United have one, and Arsenal have one, right?
No,
Nope. Who did Arsenal lose to?
Arsenal have never won a European Cup competition. We've won the Cup Winners' Cup, but most people discount the Cup Winners' Cup. You didn't know this?
So
Yeah.
you're telling me that Tottenham have more European trophies than Arsenal?
No, Tottenham don't have any either.
Yeah. Yes, they did. They won in, it was 68.
Did you win the Cup Winners' Cup in '68?
Yeah, we won something in Europe in
Yes.
the late 60s.
Arsenal have won the Cup Winners' Cup, which was a competition between the domestic cup winners in Europe. It's not a competition that's played anymore.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
It is
I
2-2.
thought that's what you were saying.
All right, so we're moving on. We're going to talk about we're going to move our conversation to the Premier League. First order of business is the EFL Championship playoff match between Huddersfield Town and Nottingham Forest. Forest win the game 1-0, but there was controversy. In the 83rd minute. Huddersfield should have had a penalty. Stone Cold should have had a penalty. Jimmy had a comment specifically regarding this. He said, probably a good talking point for next week, the championship final. I did get to watch the extended highlights, and oh man, were Huddersfield screwed. Based on the limited highlights, it does appear that Nottingham controlled and their win could be justified, but the game will always be tainted due to the lack of a penalty. There is absolutely clear indication of contact. Think about how bad it would look if you didn't try and jump the challenge. Whether they should have scored the penalty or not, who knows? But they sure should have had one. Happy Nottingham are up, but wish that there was no controversy. I will go on. So we need to point out who the referees were here. So retiring John Moss, was the head official in this match. He is staring directly at the play. So a little bit of context. Huddersfield Town player has the ball in the box, and he's kind of on the right side, kind of coming into the box. He takes a touch, and a Nottingham Forest player tries to come collect the ball. The Huddersfield Town player clearly puts his body in front of the player, but he is still in possession of the ball. He still has the ball. The Forest player clatters into the Huddersfield Town player, and they both go to the ground. From the replays, it looks like John Moss has a perfect view. He looks like he's just looking at this the entire time and makes no call. I'm watching the game without sound because I'm trying to not disturb my children, whatever. And I didn't know that there was no VAR. I just assumed that there was no VAR. After the game, I found out that Paul Tierney was the VAR official. And all of my shock, all of my disappointment that there was no penalty suddenly evaporated because I understood what was going on. That Paul Tierney he had to have one last moment of just being completely and utterly useless one more time this season. He had to get it out there. And if that's not enough to get Paul Tierney fired, I don't know what it's, because it's obvious. It's an obvious error. I don't understand how it's not a penalty.
I don't envy referees in any sport.
Agreed.
I don't know if I've made that claim. MLB, NFL, NBA, and EPL referees have the hardest jobs in the world. But at least no accountability is in the American sports.
Yeah.
I don't. For those who don't watch baseball, baseball referees, umpires, once you make it to the Premier League, to the Major League Baseball, you cannot be fired or demoted. You are there for life, like a flipping Supreme Court justice. You cannot be fired or demoted at all, or voted out, or anything. You are just there. So they're free to just be bad, and nobody can do anything about it.
Joe
West, Angel Hernandez, you're just free to just be bad, and nobody can do anything about it.
Yeah.
So at least there is some level of accountability over in Europe. So there's hope.
Well,
right?
England, you get kicked down to the League One for a game, then you're right back up in the Premier League the next week. That's not really accountability.
At least there's some level of accountability that's not in American sports.
I think
we've seen there.
I think they have to do some number of lower. The Premier League refs have to do some number of lower division games, I believe. But yeah, he should he should only be refereeing Sunday league matches. Like get him out of
Say Sunday league church games.
Get him out of professional football. We should look at the predictions, what we predicted, because we also put pen to paper here. So Brad had 2-1 Huddersfield, right?
Yep.
Sean had 2-0 to Forest. I had 0-0 and Huddersfield winning 5-4 on penalties. But our boy Joel gets the victory here. He adroitly picked the 1-0 Nottingham Forest victory. So shout out to Joel. You get a gold star. Whereas Brad gets derision and disgust for his half prediction, you get a gold star.
Put it on the fridge.
Yeah. So Nottingham Forest will be the 20th team in the Premier League, assuming that Everton don't get yeeted for financial fair play issues.
Did you say Huddersfield? Did you have a 40 slip there?
I did. Nottingham Forest will be the 20th team in the Premier League. Forest coming back up so that they can chant Champions of Europe. You'll never be able to say that to Sean and I whenever we play them. That's what their fans will chant. But yeah, so I think
like this is what I was alluding to earlier, and I just wanted to sit in it for a little bit, man. Newcastle up, Leeds up, Nottingham up. You got Arsenal, you got United, you got Liverpool. Unfortunately, I have to put Everton in there, but you have to. You got Villa up.
West Ham.
You got West Ham. You got Chelsea. I'm not including City, but you got the Titans.
Yeah,
you got all the Titans up there.
The juggernauts of English football. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a few clubs that would make a claim that they should be involved in the top 20 of English football. Maybe they're outside of the Premier League, and maybe some like Brentford clearly are not like a titan of English football. But
no, I was saying, I'm just thinking back and like looking back, and I've said on here that I'm not a historian of football yet, but I look back and I try to learn, and but like looking back, you see Bolton, you see Nottingham, you see Villa. Doing Leeds. Things in Europe, and yet Leeds, you see those names pop up here and there, and then it was sad that they're all, by the time we're watching, they're all gone. Yeah. So it's just good. I just wanted to wade into those waters because it's good to have them back.
I think it's been 23 years since Nottingham Forest have been in the top division.
It was 1999 they were relegated. Yep. So. The treble year for United was the year Forest went down and haven't been back since.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting and I'm especially looking forward to the whatever the match schedule is released, because Arsenal have historically had a really bad record away at Nottingham Forest.
Do you guys want to properly welcome, give them a proper Red Card Radio welcome, and this will be good for Joel of Nottingham Forest to the Premier League? I just thought of this, so I'm just springing this on the boys.
Okay.
Do you want me to try to guess where Nottingham Forest is?
Sure.
Yes.
Well, I'm almost certain it's in the town of Nottingham or the city of Nottingham. Now, if I can accurately point that out on a map, I'm going to say it's about 110 miles northeast of London. And I have not looked this up.
I'm gonna Google map it right now.
Not directly northeast, more north than east, because England's kind of skinny.
All right, I'm gonna do it from,
this
from White Hart Lane.
Okay.
From White Hart Lane to Nottingham Forest Football Club.
110 to 170.
Okay, so and you said northeast. Did you say northeast or northwest?
This way, northeast.
Okay, so it's slightly northwest.
Okay.
But it is from White Hart Lane to Nottingham Forest Football Club. It is a 2-hour and 34-minute drive up the M1. It is 126 miles.
I nailed it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's your surprise. So all right.
You nailed it.
Yeah, let's go.
Shocked.
Let's go, Joel. Let's go, Joel.
Hey, but
just northeast of Burnley.
I got the direction wrong, but I'm close.
When that schedule comes out, though, I think a Red Card Radio welcome is in order. If it's Arsenal Brentford in the first game, and they can do Arsenal Nottingham Forest the first game, and they can give another 2-0 loss.
Little red card radio welcome.
All right, let's move on. Let's Brad, Sean, we need to tie up our teams for this season.
All right.
I don't know between you two who wants to go first. If you want me to go first, but we
I'll
should.
take it.
I think we should go. So this was an original concept of this podcast. We were going to go in league table order. So I think that it should be Brad and then Sean and then me. That's my original assessment. So Brad, if you'd like to take it
go
away,
for it.
put a bow on the season of 21-22 Chelsea football season.
2 trophies, 4 finals, top 4 finish. I think it's an excellent season on a scale of out of 10. I think is what you said earlier, right?
Yeah, 1 to 10.
Give us about 7 or an 8. It would have been nice to take one of those trophies off of Liverpool, especially after holding them to 0 goals over 180 minutes of football. But excellent season. We're still a club. We have new owners that are willing to spend money.
They make
I'm excited for the future. We'll see. Apparently Neymar is on the list to come on over.
Please do.
I'm not joking. I don't want that. Let me be 100% clear. Bowley, I love that you want to bring out this checkbook and you want a marquee signing. That is not what we need.
You don't need Neymar.
I want Dembele.
They do.
I'll take Dembele.
No, they don't.
Kunde.
Neymar is too scrawny to do anything in the Premier League.
They need Neymar, and they need to pen Lukaku to another 10-year deal, about $800K a week.
He's about to get yeeted back to the Farmers League.
Neymar has Murata written all over it. Just
they should get Murata too.
Hey, wait. Where's Murata going? Because there's an asking we're going.
He's rumored at Arsenal. There was a reason that was fresh in my memory.
But for Chelsea, I'm pleased with the season.
Do you have any disappointments this year? For this
season?
Yeah,
not getting the FA Cup, or the EFL Cup. I think winning one of those finals gets the treble. Gets us 3 trophies, and Sean did say Super Cup counts as a trophy. He said it's a prestigious trophy. So, and Club World Cup is an awesome win. We got the badge.
Never said prestigious. I just said it counts.
Yes, you did.
Any Brad? Any specific highlights that you think about that you remember? Any specific low points that stick in your mind?
High points would be Kovacic's goal and Rudiger's goal. Amazing goals. Low points. That L to actually, this is gonna surprise people. Beating Juventus as bad as we did because it cost us the rest of the season losing Chilwell. That's where everything turned because we were running. I think we were in first in the league then. We were running our Champions League group, and then injuries happened.
Okay.
So.
Alrighty.
So
rating it a 7.5 out of 10 is what it seemed like. You said 7,
we go
8.
there.
You said 7, 8.
Yep.
So I'm giving it in the middle. Okay. I would generally agree with that assessment of Chelsea.
Yeah, I think it's something you can. It's a season you can live with. It's a season you can live with. It's looks like you're building towards a better future, even though I thought when he was going for the disappointment of the season.
This is what I was
Lukaku. Yes. Only scoring what he scored.
15 total goals. I don't know how many.
We're not counting the damn cup against Coventry. Okay? We're not counting that.
Yeah. I mean, you can count all of his official goals. That's fine, but he was clearly a disappointment.
Correct. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
All right, Sean. What about you? How rate Spurs seasons out of 10? Give us your highlights, your lowlights. Just kind of wrap it up for us.
I don't think you guys are going to argue with this. Out of 10, it's an 11.
Okay.
You guys made fun of me for putting Tottenham in the top 4. Well, you also, part of the making fun of me was that you both picked your team to win, and I didn't. But it looked bleak at the beginning of the season. Heading in with Nuno and not knowing where we were going, Jose, the boys didn't take to Jose, and we were spiraling. And then it got out of hand until we replaced him and put Conte in, and that ship was righted. And to get back to 4th, which I thought was I said it's realistic, which also caught some flack from you guys. I just said it was real. Realistically can see us finish from fourth, and we did.
So to be fair, though, we both gave you flack for that when it was Nuno's team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to my reactions to you picking. I think my reaction to you picking fourth probably stemmed solely from the you didn't pick Spurs to win. Like you didn't, you didn't
it was mostly because of that. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I think
but I was realistic.
Yeah, I think Spurs always had a realistic shot to finish fourth.
Because the point of it was, this is where I honestly, like, looking at the team, looking at the league, this is where we are. We're fourth. In my mind, we're fourth best. We're better than United. We're better than Arsenal. And the highlight of the season, I'll go ahead and segue it for you. Okay. Highlight of the season is having 2 consecutive signing periods, just like Arsenal did, that got us younger and better. And Arsenal did the same thing, and now their trajectory's up, and so is ours. And that's what I was worried about going into the season. And then I remember saying this, we are getting old, and we're not getting better. And Dyer's getting old. I mean, Dyer's close to 30. Davies is close to 30. The core is getting old. Yeah. And we're not winning anything, and we're not getting better, and there's no youth coming into the team like it is at Arsenal, which makes it feel even more bleak. If we're not winning with the current core, why aren't we replacing these people with young players? So we had 2 consecutive the summer and the winter transfer that improved our team and made us younger. And that is huge to me, to see that we're going in the right direction. We needed Kulusevski. Romero's like 24. Kulusevski's like 22. We're probably going to get rid of Reguilon, but I really like Reguilon. He's a firecracker when he's not being an idiot, which is the problem.
Yeah.
And we need a center back. What would help probably is having a center back so Davies can go back to the wing where he's supposed to be. That would probably help a lot.
Okay.
So Dyer's.
So you're rating 11 out of 10.
Realistically, all in all, I have to put it at a 9 because I have to be disappointed with the first half of the season. So I can't give them a 10 or an over.
Okay.
It was looking bad for a while.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
For a long time.
But to be fair, it looked bad only like on the eye test, because I remember when we were having this conversation around Nuno, and when the wheels were falling off the bus for him, you guys were like only like 3 or 4 points or something like that behind fourth. Like you guys were within striking distance of fourth, and like all the Spurs fans were super doom and gloom. And yeah, you guys looked like shit, and like you didn't.
That was the problem.
You were playing regressively, and it didn't look like good football. Even though Levy in the summer when they were hiring, they said they were going to look for somebody to play exciting, attacking football, and then you're playing whatever this Nuno regressive crap was. And so you guys on the eye test looked bad, but you were so close to fourth. Like it wasn't like you were that far away. This is like the replacing Nuno and getting Conte is akin to replacing Lampard and getting Tuchel. Like in terms of like cutting your losses and getting a winner. Like it turned out to be great. So
yeah. So when are you cutting Arteta and getting Ancelotti?
That's a good question.
You totally would too.
See the way.
Hold on a second. That's the first time we've ever heard him like get excited for losing Arteta.
I don't know. I'm not entertaining that idea because it's not an actual opportunity.
No, Ancelotti's not leaving Madrid, but
he said that this is going to be his last
hurrah,
his last club team. He's like,
who's out there that's like a proven winner? There's.
I think he wants to.
Mourinho.
I think he wants to. Oh, are you talking about at Arsenal?
No, just who's out in Europe that's a proven winner? I mean, we going Mourinho? You taking Mourinho over Arteta? I don't think you do.
Yes, you do.
I love Jose Mourinho.
Yes, you do. You 1,000% do.
I would have you take him just for the ha-has because that man is perfect in front of a microphone.
No,
I love it.
I want Mourinho.
I love Jose.
I want Jose to stay at Roma and build something awesome at Roma. I think that's good for football. I think it's good for his legacy. If he could win a Scudetto with Roma, that would be crazy.
Oh, amazing.
It would be crazy.
Yeah, he can do it.
Yeah.
He can do it. He knows how to do it.
So rating Arsenal's season out of 10. I think it's a 4. I think it's a 4. And I think it would have only been a 5 if we finished in the Champions League. It would have only been a 5 out of 10 if we finished 4th.
Whoa.
Hold on. Okay, I'm going to let you
Yeah,
explain. Then I'll ask my question. I'm sorry.
Let's hear them out. Yeah.
Okay, so Arsenal's expectations, like a club of Arsenal stature, our expectation is to be fighting for the league every year. We didn't do that. I thought we would be. I made my prediction at the beginning of the year, and you guys laughed at me. But like, I legitimately thought Arsenal had a legitimate shot at fighting for the title. It was clearly naive, and it was a bit of homerism on my part. But we had no European football. We had a young squad. We had what turned out to be fantastic signings, and I thought it was a great opportunity for us to really attack, and we didn't. So that was disappointing to me. Losing in the 4th round of the FA Cup was excruciatingly painful to me, because you guys know how much I like the FA Cup. I talk about it literally every time the FA Cup comes up. I love the FA Cup. Losing to Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup was inexcusable. The second leg against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semifinal at home was inexcusable. We played exceptionally well down a man at Liverpool at Anfield. We were down to 10 men, and we were in that game. And I think we lost only 1-0 or something like that, or ended in a draw or something. I don't remember specifically. But then we just get destroyed at the Emirates 2 weeks later. So that was disappointing. We had a few highlights. We beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. We demolished Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, to be fair. We crushed Spurs at home in the North London derby, but then you turn around, we got crushed by Chelsea at home, and we got crushed by Spurs away. Granted, you guys heard my Spurs comment 3 weeks ago about why I thought that happened, but we still got crushed, and that's disappointing. Got crushed away to City, got crushed away to Liverpool. So like, there were a lot of disappointments. So I think European football was a bare minimum. That was the bare minimum expectation for this year. I think if we had made a longer run in the Cup, in the FA Cup specifically, I would have rated us higher. If we had finished in the Champions League, I would have rated us higher. If we were scoring more goals, if we looked more exciting, it would have been rated higher. We had to sweat out a lot of these games, and they're exciting to watch. Like, it's fun to see 10-men Arsenal get a victory away to Wolves. Like, that's a chest beating. Like, it's really exciting. But I'd rather see us beating Wolves 3-0. So I think if I'm rating it out of 10, I think it's a 4 out of 10. I think it's a disappointment we didn't finish in the Champions League. I think it's a disappointment we didn't finish higher in the league. I think it's a disappointment that we didn't make an FA Cup run. And I think it's a disappointment the way that the club handled the January transfer window. I agree with all of the getting rid of players that we did. I think that was all needed, but the club did not set the first team up to succeed in the latter half of the season, and that's disappointing to me. So
I think he only had one name on his list, and that's the only one he tried for, and homie hit ignore to go to Juventus. I forget his name.
Vlahovic.
Yeah, Vlahovic. Yeah, just hit ignore, and I think you're right on that season. But here's my thing, though. I think your expectations for Arsenal were very exaggerated compared to the club, except for the cup run. I think expecting a long FA Cup run is reasonable. I think Europe, I think even Conference League and Arsenal are happy. So I don't know if I agree with the 4. I think a 6 is much more favorable, but that would be my opinion as a non-Arsenal fan looking in.
When Sean rates Spurs season 9 out of 10, I think it's hilarious. And I didn't
agree.
I didn't necessarily want to say it on the podcast, but like, it's just that, like, I think it's just a different mentality. Like, I agree with you, Sean, that like Spurs season was bleak, and so you're looking at it more of like we saved the season and that's exciting. But I think you guys haven't won a trophy in 13 years.
14.
It's 14 now, whatever. I think that would be bitterly disappointing to me if I was a Spurs fan. Every season we don't win a cup. You guys could win the FA Cup any year. You guys could win the Carabao Cup any year, but you don't. It was disappointing the way you guys went out of the Conference League, I guess.
Yeah, but I think you're looking at it the wrong way. If I'm used to not winning a cup, why would not winning a cup
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe that is your point.
That is my point, is that your expectations are so low that that doesn't pain you. Where maybe you're right, Brad. Maybe my expectations are too high, but
right. Because let's think about this, right? I rated Chelsea a 7.5, and we have 2 cups and 2 finals.
Yeah.
Sean's rating a 9 for getting 4th, for getting the Wenger Trophy.
I think
yes.
And you're rating a 4 for getting Europa League when you guys haven't had Europe in 2 years?
The goal was to be back in Champions League for Tottenham. I don't care about the cups. Just get back in the Champions League so we can keep improving the team. So we can get to a point that we're winning trophies. What's it, $30 million? It's a $30 million bump just for making it.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think Levy wanted to give Jose that immortality status. That's why he fired him before that cup final against City.
If he fired him before the cup final because he didn't want Jose to have a chance to win it, that he should be run out of the club.
He should be with pitchforks. Like, let's go back in the day.
He should have already been ran out of the club, even if it was Super League related. Like, you still keep Jose for that cup final. Levy messed y'all up because y'all probably have a chance if Jose's in the box.
By the way, a little aside, since we're just all talking about how much we love Jose, did you guys see the comments about making the final? Like winning the semifinal and going to the Conference League final? He said, the best part about winning the conference final is knowing I'm not going to be fired before the final.
Yeah, he had a couple humorous comments about that.
Yeah, he like threw that little jab to Tottenham in there for firing him right before the final.
Oh, I love Jose.
Yeah,
he threw that little.
I don't know. I think I would love to hear from you guys. If you guys are still listening, if you watch football regularly, if you are a supporter of a specific club, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments how you would rate your club season. Joel, Newcastle, Jimmy, Liverpool, Will, Juventus. Like, I would love to hear these things about how you guys feel your club did.
I have a little quick thing about Arsenal. I just think, I agree with Brad a little bit because I want to get this out before we wrap up. That coming into the season, I don't think Arsenal's goal, clearly because they signed Arteta to an extension, Arsenal's goal was just to make Europe again.
Agreed.
Like that's how far the club had fallen. So you can't, as a fan, you shouldn't be holding yourself to winning a cup, this cup, that cup. You can't be. Your goal has to be aligned. Well, maybe it doesn't have to be, but should be aligned with what the board's looking for. The board's looking to improve the team too. So the goal was get back in Europe. You did it. Now, would I say it's a 9? No. Of course you want to be in Champions League when you're in the 4th spot 2 weeks from the end of the season. Or 2 weeks before the end of the season, you're in the driver's seat. Of course, that's disappointing. That's the disappointing part, is that you put yourself in a position to be in Champions League and didn't close it.
Agreed.
So that's why I agree with Brad. I think it should be around a 6 or a 7. I think that's the disappointment that brings it down. But you achieved what you were going out there to do.
I feel like
the club did. They didn't achieve what James wanted them to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem.
That's fine.
I'd be curious to know, like if we got on the internet and looked for like fans, like other supporters of our clubs, like how they would rate their seasons out of 10.
Oh, I could tell you what AFTV's talk about.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily care about AFTV. Maybe like our Gunners. I'd be curious to see like on the subreddit what they're thinking.
But I wanted to add that in there and say you cannot come out of this season and not think possibility. If I'm in the shoes of an Arsenal fan, the team is younger, the team is flipping good, and getting better.
I agree with all these sentiments. But I still think it was overall a disappointing season.
Yeah, see that's the disconnect, because I'm just over here. I'm just vibing with no trophies. Don't care. Just put us in the Audi Cup again so we can win that. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
we don't won trophies, so it doesn't matter to me. We might make the final just to be disappointed again.
Man, what I would give to be in a Champions League final again, that would be amazing. In a couple of years, we will be. But yeah, that's what we got for tonight. We appreciate if you're still tuning in. Just some general thoughts for football fans, but the transfer window in England opens on June the 10th. The international transfer window, though, begins July 1st. So we should see more and more transfers kind of rolling in. English teams. I know that clearly City have signed Haaland, and Spurs, we didn't talk about it tonight, but Spurs have signed Ivan Perisic on a free from Inter. So that will be something we will definitely be talking about in the coming weeks.
And Forster, they got 2 signings in. They got Forster.
Is that official?
The goalie too. Yeah, I think. Okay. Yeah, I think it's not. I got it. Here we go.
It's on a free.
Another free too.
So it can't be announced.
He's just gonna back up Lloris. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good. That's a good cup. That Forster's a great cup.
How old is
backup?
Forster? Like, do we know?
Oh, he's got to be late 30s. I didn't look it up, but he's got to be like 35, 36.
I don't think he's that old. I think you're thinking Ben Foster, because Ben Foster is that old, and he's
going to be both are that old.
Available on a free. I don't think he's that old. Brad's furiously typing.
34.
Oh shit! I didn't know anything.
Mid 30s. Yeah.
All right.
Mid 30s.
So we will start talking about the transfer window. Send us your ideas if you have silly things you think we should talk about in the summer. We do plan to be more consistent over this summer than we have been last summer. Now, clearly, there will be some weeks where people are vacationing, and maybe we take a week off here and there. But we will have content for you guys over the summer, and we would love for you to share it with a friend. If you're listening for the first time and you skip to the end for some reason, or you listen the whole way and you didn't subscribe at the beginning, hit us with a subscribe now. Follow us, like it, sub notification bell. Leave us a comment, share it with a friend, do all those things that internet people ask you to do when you're consuming that internet person's thing on the internet. We would really appreciate those things. And then you...
Well said.
You wouldn't want to get turned into a Bolton Wanderers fan.
Bolton Wanderers fan, yeah.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
As always, you can hit us up on Twitter. That man right there, that's at KSBradG. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. We collectively are at redcard_radio. That is all on Twitter. If you think we should be on a different social media platform, let Brad know. He is the social media intern. If you want to see Brad doing silly TikTok dances, I think you should let us know, and Brad could start doing some Red Card Radio TikToks. That would be funny, I guess, maybe if you're into TikTok. I'm not. But yeah, we will see you all in the near future. Look out for a podcast next week. Start of season 3 of Red Card Radio. Thank you as always. We really appreciate all of you. Thank you for tuning in. It means the world to us, and we will see you next time. Good night.